Yeah, it's interesting. Now, I want to talk a bit more about that because, as our devices get smarter and they become more of who we are, that whole thing of why do we need memory is something I'd really like to revisit today, because 5 years, 10 years from now, we'll still have, we'll be partial cyborgs maybe at that point if you speak to Elon Musk, but yet the memory is still really important.
Yes.
And I'd love to talk about that a little bit.
I've done, and I'm looking forward to going deep in that. I do trainings for Google, and it's, they're organizing the world's information. And my mission really is helping people to remember the important parts of it, because memory is a force multiplier. It's one of those things, I challenge anyone to think of anything that they do or want to accomplish that doesn't require memory. Anything, whether it's kinesthetic body memory or remembering, like if we lost, look at the other end, if we forgot half of what we know or knew, half the words, half the people, half of our expertise, we wouldn't be very functional.
Yeah.
And so imagine if we could double our capacity to learn in a fraction of the time, then we become extremely productive and powerful. And I'm not talking about frantic fast. When I teach people how to read 2 or 3 times faster, I mean in efficiency and effectiveness. You can imagine when you were, great documentary, by the way, I remind, when you're training for something, your body, if you had some kind of physical challenge, or let's say we're walking up a hill, you could do it at a level of efficiency and effectiveness than somebody who wasn't in as physically in shape, because you're strong and you don't have to use as much energy. The same thing when I read, whether it's reading a book a day or people see me on stage, 100 people stand up and introduce themselves, and I recite everyone's name or large numbers
and
or
remember
words.
Numbers, they say.
Everyone could do that, and it's not something. There's no such thing as a good or bad memory. There's a trained memory and an untrained memory, and this works no matter your age, your background, your career, your education, your financial situation, your gender, your history, your IQ. None of that matters. What matters is, just like with anything, is focus and putting in the work. And so it might not always be easy, but it's so worth it. It's like describing to somebody what a rainbow looks like that has never seen a rainbow, or describing what a rose smells like, who's never smelled a rose. And that's, I believe people, my mission is, I believe people have genius inside of them. And I'm not talking about an IQ or number. I mean, they have strengths and talents. And I want to be able to create an environment where they could let it out, because the world needs more of that.
And they're just not using their brain in the right way, or exercising it, or using it to their full capacity. And then on top of that, they put all the other negative self-talk on there.
Oh my goodness.
They just marginalize themselves.
It is. And it's not necessarily, if people feel overwhelmed in this digital age, like there's too much information, too little time, or they feel distracted, like they can't maintain their focus or concentration to get things done, or they have a little bit of memory loss. Senior moments are coming too early. They'll read a page in a book, get to the end, and just forget what they just read. It's not really their fault. They were never taught. You were gifted this most incredible device in the whole known universe, but it doesn't come with an owner's manual. And certainly we didn't learn how to use it in school. School is a great place to learn. They teach you what to learn and what to think and what to remember, but not necessarily how to learn, how to think, and how to remember those things.
Yeah.
And I want to close that gap.
Yeah. And one thing I'm realizing with London Real is that we learn by stories, just like Homer knew with Odysseus and the Iliad, and just like our hunter-gatherer ancestors probably knew, it was a story base. So, someone can read a book about memory, but when Jim Kwik comes on and tells them your story and these ideas and techniques, people might never forget it. And again, that's why the personality sometimes can bring lessons. And I think we're seeing this whole new way of people learning around the world with long-form content, whether it's podcasts or YouTube videos. And it's just amazing to see, people connect. I had Jordan Peterson in here, and the night before he came in, he was at the O2 Arena with 7,000 people in a concert venue that I had seen Beyonce perform at. And he was having a debate with Sam Harris about religion. And he said, Brian, we're learning that people aren't as stupid as we thought they were. What he's trying to say is that everybody wants a nuanced conversation and wants to learn things.
Right.
It's just we never gave them a really good way in the past. It was like, go to school and memorize this. But now you can give them these long form, nuanced stories and conversations, and people are kind of craving it. And so it's kind of an exciting time.
And it's amazing how you're able to, with London Real, with your audience, with your academy, how it's classrooms now, they don't have four walls. They're not limited. I mean, you have access to this amazing information, and to be able to eavesdrop and partake in and participate in a conversation in this arena. I mean, how often do people have genius and greatness whispered or shared with them? And I love this because these conversations are so important, because if I give you $1, you give me $1, a pound, we have the same amount. But if I share a new idea with you and you share a brand new idea with me, all of a sudden we have those two brand new ideas. And that's a good starting point for creating positive change.
Yeah, it's like wealth creation,
Right, something that wasn't there before.
Yeah. And I think I was telling you, like 2 hours ago, I was walking down the street to go train at the gym, and two guys in a garbage truck shouted out and were like, "London Real, what's going on, Brian?" And I got them on video, and I'm like, "What are you watching?" And they're like, Sadhguru, this Indian mystic, Dan Payne, high performance guy. They watch my Iron Man movie. So here are guys that are riding around in this truck all day, and they're learning, listening to these new ideas. Probably watch you, I'm sure they have. And they're developing their minds. So it's just, everybody craves this stuff. It's just.
I do. I think it's part of our DNA that in order to feel completely fulfilled, that we need to be able to feel like we're making progress, that we grow. And because we grow, we have more to be able to give to the people around.